Hi there Internet peoples! I'm back again with another Unity tip for those of you starting out in game development. In this video we will be looking at how to perform basic customizations to the inspector. This will allow you or a team member to easily understand the purpose of variables created within your code and to also provide control over their values. Let's crack on! We're going to start with a small scene that I've already set up. Here there is a simple sprite that moves backwards and forwards across the screen via a simple script. The script simply stores a float value representing the direction of travel and within the update checks if the sprite has exited a specific area within the screen, and if so, it flips the sign of the direction of travel. Then it uses a transform.translate to move the sprite using a new vector2 that incorporates the direction of travel multiplied by a fixed float value for speed and then by time.delta time to match the frame rates of the game. As you can see, this currently uses fixed values in a lot of places where variables will be better. So let's start making our changes. At the minute, the sprite has a constant speed, so let's add a public float value to represent that speed. We can then apply that to the vector2 that we use for movement. After compiling, we can now see that variable is available in the inspector. As a developer, we may want to restrict the limits of that vector. We can alter the inspector to accommodate that by only allowing certain values in a range to be selected. To do this, we can add a range slider for this specific variable to the inspector as follows. After compilation, we can now see that in the inspector there is a range slider that has appeared, and it is restricted to a range of values. We can adjust this during runtime to speed up or slow down the sprite. But don't forget, as you exit play mode, the slider will reset, and you should manually adjust this to be the desired value when you're not in play mode. We can also see that the movement area of the sprite is restricted, so perhaps we also want to control that. Let's add a public float variable for the movement range. And again, add a range slider to provide control over this variable. And utilise that within the if statement that controls the zone of movement. Compile and test it, and now we can adjust the zone. But as a team member, we may not know exactly what these two variables relate to, so let's clear that up. Back in the code. First, we could add a header to appear above those variables to clarify exactly what they relate to. To do this, we use the header attribute like so. So that gives an idea as to what the selection of variables are for, but perhaps it would be better to clarify the purpose of each individual variable. We can do this by using tooltips in the following way. The tooltips appear if we hover the mouse pointer over the variable names. Now suppose we have some variables that we want to remain public but not necessarily appear within the inspector. This can be achieved quite easily. Let us first add a variable to use, in this case just an example ball. Now when we compile this, you'll note the ball appears in the inspector. Over in the code, we can hide this by using the hide inspector attribute. Now if we compile that, you'll note the ball no longer appears in the inspector. You may have noticed that our private variables for direction do not appear in the inspector. For ease, we may want these variables to be visible for debugging purposes. We can achieve this by using the serialized field attribute. Let's add that attribute to the direction variable. Please note that this does more than just make it appear in the inspector. It actually utilises a programming approach called serialization, but that is beyond the scope of this video. Let's compile that up, and you'll note that the direction variable now appears in the inspector. If we hit play, we can see it change as the sprite changes direction. Remember, you can change this variable in the editor before runtime and it will change the initial behaviours. And that's it for basic editor customization on this occasion. There are many additional features, but they are less used, such as adding options to menus to execute methods, but that is something that I've seldom used myself. Beyond the basic editor customizations, the editor GUI uses a IMGUI class, and aspects of that can be overridden within your code. This can provide powerful customizations to the GUI within Unity, but that is a more advanced topic beyond the scope of these videos, but perhaps I will cover that in a future video. I'm hoping that you found this short video useful. If you liked it, please click like and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get notifications of my future videos. I plan on doing the 3D Raycast guide and also translating mouse positions to game coordinates in future videos, among many others. If you have any questions regarding this video, you can get in touch with me via Twitter or simply by adding to the comments below. And don't forget, I also regularly stream game development content over on Twitch, so why not head over there now via the link in the description and follow me to get notifications when I'm next streaming. Thank you for watching and catch you next time.